You're with the Shit Chat team, surely showing you a shitload of stuff that will send your senses spinning. All of it true. Really, 100% true.
Wiggity wiggity whack. This is me, Mrs. Mel Gibson. To my right, it's Heretic. Say hello, Heretic.
Alright.
I'm alright. Are you right?
I'm walking on sunshine.
Yes, the Jedward of conspiracism, as it were, are back at the beginning of a new year.
Yeah, coming at you with a conspiracy bukkake.
One in the face, and a little bit always gets in your hair. So what poo are we peddling this time, Heretic?
Well, we're talking a little bit about multiculturalism.
Oh, yeah.
And a little bit about RASPUTIN.
Lover of the Russian Queen.
According to Boney M.
That's right. What is a Boney M, by the way? Even Wikipedia doesn't know. There's an unsettling stirring in the world right now as we brace ourselves for what could be the end of the world. Heretic, are you sensing that vibe?
Yeah, I do think it's the end of the world. It feels like it.
One feels that the walls are closing in, that something's about to give.
Israel are cajoling all the Goy nations into attacking Iran.
Yeah.
I think Iran are doing the right thing, though.
They're basically doing what Libya didn't do. Gaddafi was foolish enough to flirt with the West.
Suspend his nuclear weapons program.
Which, was a nice gesture, but it was his downfall, wasn't it? Whereas you have Ahmadinejad Jacket, who's actually showing his gnashes, isn't he? Have some of that. Some tactical missile tests. A bit like the North Koreans the other day. Like, don't fuck with us. We're still in the game. It's the only tactic you can really use, isn't it, right now? You have to show your muscles, not your bum.
If the West do attack Iran, then they're going to have to answer to Russia and China, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's could be a doomsday scenario.
It could be. I'm imagining floods, locusts, fire and brimstone, like that bit when they open the Ark in Raiders of the Lost Ark. All kinds of biblical style shit going on.
And all the Germans die, and the only ones left standing are a couple of Jews.
Yeah. If a nuclear blast goes off, what you do is you just keep your eyes closed. Keep them closed like Harrison Ford.
Or hide in a fridge.
Or hide in a fridge. Would we be the only people standing? Would be just you, me, Iggy Pop and some cockroaches left?
It's very worrying, isn't it?
It's a bit, yeah.
And I'd miss Press TV. They have old Mark Dankoff on there now and again, don't they?
Mark Dankoff, yep.
Yeah, Mark Glenn's been on Press TV a couple of times and all.
A few times, yeah. But it's not just all impending doom, Heretic. We've got some rather exciting things in the pipeline as well, haven't we? We've got the coming American elections, where, of course, Mr. Ron Paul is oddly absent from the whole affair, at least in the media's eyes. So what's going on there? He's proving to be quite a pest, isn't he? Because we have several other candidates for the top job as Commander-in-Chief. We have Mr. Newt Gingrich. We have, what's her name? Michelle Bachmann, who's barking mad, as far as I'm concerned. She doesn't like Arabs very much, does she? Who else have we got? Rick Perry, Santoro, what's his name?
Santana.
We got Santana, yeah. So yeah, Ron Paul seems to be notoriously absent because the media have simply placed a blanket over his head regarding where he is in the polls and so forth.
It's a bit like when the Sex Pistols went to number one in 1977, isn't it?
That's right, there wasn't a number one that week, was there? But clearly he's a force to be reckoned with, and you can see that it's born of fear, isn't it, from the establishment. I mean, this guy means serious business. I mean, he wants to shut down the Fed. He'll withdraw the troops. He'll stop funding Israel. I mean, this is hardcore shit, Heretic. Now, Heretic, was it you that was telling me that Ron Paul said he was a Zionist?
Yeah.
So Ron Paul might be a Zionist. I had him down as a Capricorn. So what do you make of that then, Heretic?
Well, to be honest with you, I think it would be very stupid for an American presidential candidate to say that he wasn't a Zionist.
Yeah, you do have to make some allowances, don't you?
Well, it's like the Nazis borrowing money from Jewish banks.
Mm.
I mean, how else are you supposed to get a foothold in the political life unless you play the right chords.
Yeah, I like the fact that he's a staunch constitutionalist, that the priority is always the constitution, and kind of saves him from any kind of embarrassment regarding what we've just, like the Israel thing. Like, well, Israel, I wish her the best, but my priority is America.
Like I already said, if you want to get your foot in the door politically, you can't go up there and start saying, fuck Israel, because, they did 9/11. He has to play the politician.
Yeah.
A politician has to do PR.
And be grateful that there's a presidential candidate who actually acknowledges the New World Order as we understand it.
Police state.
Yeah, basically. Like that, what a brazen thing to do, to acknowledge it in that sense, rather than George Bush Sr.'s sense. So Ron Paul may indeed be the next president of the United States, and could stave off
The end of the world.
But instead of focusing on the end of the world, the media have gone all mental about some bird on a tram, haven't they, Heretic?
Yeah, some woman being racist on a tram.
Being racist on a tram.
Did you see the Israeli tram video?
Yes, I did, as a matter of fact, yes.
Yeah, this Palestinian bloke in Israel on a tram. And he was like, this ain't fucking Palestine. It's full of fucking Israelis.
Oh, and there was that rabbi on the tram, and he was like, hey, I'm just trying to work here, I'm just trying to earn a few shekels here and there. Who the fuck do you think you are? Yeah, so this tram lady went off on one. Like, she was surrounded by, ethnics and that, and she got a bit mardy, didn't she?
Yeah. I've noticed that whenever there's anything to do with racism, the media, they just go crazy. It's their favourite topic, it seems. But it reminded me of that interview that Morgan Freeman gave. The interviewer said, so Morgan, how do we stop it? How do we stop racism? How do we make it go away? And Morgan Freeman said, we've got to stop talking about it.
Racism, racism, racism. Stop talking about it. It's an adjective. What is it? I don't even know what racism is. And you know what, Heretic? I don't think anyone knows what racism even is. They don't even know what it means. Do they mean tribalism? It's just this new ism word invented by just referring to our innate need to belong to a social group and to nurture it and protect it. Throwing the word at certain people creates the thing itself. No one seems to understand that.
You don't need to invent a new category of... I mean, if you're a bastard, you're just a bastard. You don't have to give it a special name. Oh, you're a racist bastard. What really annoys me is the way the media, they take certain words and they give them a new elevated meaning. Like diversity and multiculturalism. I always just thought multiculturalism means people of different races just getting on. But it's more than that, isn't it?
This is the mistake reasonable people make. This is their assumption. They assume that when a diverse group of cultures come together onto one piece of land, they naturally find some sort of harmony with each other. Because we are, after all, human beings, we're the same species. But the reality is that we're different cultures, with different customs, different languages. And what actually happens is that you start forming little polarised, incubated little communities, sectioned off from the other communities. It's like the Tower of Babel. It's lots of languages clashing together and just creating jargon and confusion. And in that confusion, you get social frictions. I mean, we're really starting to feel that now, I think.
Obviously, it goes without saying that you shouldn't just start insulting people on a fucking tram or bus or anything. But I was on a bus in the ghetto.
Yeah.
It dawned on me while I was on the bus that I couldn't understand anything anybody was saying because there were so many different languages that I suddenly felt
displaced.
I felt like I didn't know quite where I was because there was no consistency and I couldn't understand what people were saying. And if you are aware of that on some level and then you're getting all this stuff from the media all the time, it's going to create a kind of cognitive dissonance, isn't it?
Exactly. Like, I have a lot of kind of secret sympathy for the tram lady, actually. I think a lot of people do, but they wouldn't share that view in public. But I mean, it's a genuine, legitimate concern. You can see where her frustration actually comes from. She has a legitimate concern, but we also can't forget that Great Britain has a lot to answer for. Its flagrant colonialism is largely responsible for why people migrated to other countries in the first place.
Yeah, like in London, you meet a lot of cab drivers from Afghanistan.
Mm.
It was like, well, why are they here? Oh, yeah, because like
Bomb the fuck out of them, that's
bombing
why.
their country.
For false reasons, yeah.
And they'll all tell you like horror stories about what British and American troops did to ordinary people over there.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be so many refugees
Yeah.
if we weren't bombing their fucking countries.
Now, Heretic, some people might think we're proper racists and that, but I know for a fact I'm not. Why? Because I don't even know what the word means. Don't know what it even means. I don't know what it is, man. Are you racist, Heretic?
I don't think I am.
One of my best mates at the bus station, like, he's ethnic.
Do you remember Kilroy? Do you remember when someone asked Kilroy if he was racist and he went, no, my limo driver's black?
I do remember that. I'm not racist. But I have to say that I'm just bloody confused. I don't know what's going on.
Have you had a smoke?
I've had a smoke, yeah. So yeah, the war on racism. The war on an adjective. We're fighting a lot of wars on adjectives, aren't we, Heretic? Wars against words. And it's freaking us all out. And we're all terrified to just talk about things in a normal fashion.
I remember watching TV once. I think it was a documentary about black athletes.
Yeah.
And somebody said, why are so many great athletes black? Maybe black people are just good at running.
That's something that, again, people are just too worried to mention.
What's wrong with saying that we all have different attributes?
Different ethnic groups they obviously have genetic differences. Therefore, they have greater aptitude at certain things, whereas other racial groups are better at other types of things.
Yeah, why are people so good at maths?
There you go. Why were Greeks so good at thinking about shit?
Why are Italians so good at faking fouls? Yeah, it's that whole nature versus nurture thing, isn't it? It's probably a bit of both.
Do you think that's a controversial view to have?
Of course it is. You're not even allowed to say that men and women have different sized brains, because that's like offensive or something.
Is that why they get less money at Wimbledon?
Might be why they can't park a car.
Yeah, that crap at parking cars. My girlfriend parked my car in the fucking swimming pool the other week.
Was it the swimming pool at Auschwitz?
Oh, Heretic, the phone's ringing. My fucking phone's ringing.
Conspiracy hotline.
Conspiracy hotline, yeah. Hello? Hi guys, it's Max here, Max Egan from the Crow House.
You alright, Max?
Alright mate, you alright? Yeah, I'm fine, I'm just sitting in my hammock, contemplating the world around me. How you guys doing? I'm fine, Max, I'm playing Skyrim.
Yeah, I'm playing Skyrim and all, because I still can't get a job.
The only reason why you can't get a job, mate, is because of fear. That's what it is, mate, fear. Because you've got to see fear as like a Spanish onion. It's kind of red on the outside because of the anger that fear produces. It's red, right? So you've got to peel that fucking onion.
Yeah, onions do make you cry.
Exactly. See, there's a warped genius to this, Mr. Egan, isn't there? That's right, it's the tears of illumination, see? The tears the onion creates are simply tears of emancipation. Fear's the least of our problems. I mean, we've got coal seam mining, all this fracking going on right now, guys. Frapping?
Well, like when a bird gets in the old budgie's tongue.
Fidgeting with the old bacon rashers. Fracking, mate. Fracking is where we tamper with the water table, basically. Now, you've got to remember all the Earth's memories kind of stored in the water. What, like, so my bottle of Evian can, like, remember stuff.
What about when I was little and I had a wank in the bath?
Does my bottle of water remember him having a wank in the bath?
Where does he get this stuff?
I don't know, man. Why are you so bloody clever, Max?
Bet he drinks a lot of water.
That's exactly fucking it, mate. I drink lots of water and I remember a whole lot fucking more. Well, I think we'll leave it there, Max. I already feel smarter simply listening to you.
I do feel like I want to go to the toilet.
Just remember this mantra, yeah? No onions, no fear.
Cheers, Max.
So maybe it's time to talk about a certain character in history who is very notorious and quite misunderstood.
Not Hitler.
Not Hitler. And not Bob Carroll, geez. No, we're talking about Rasputin, aren't we, Heretic? Rah, rah, Rasputin didn't keep his willy clean. One of these characters I've always been interested in. And I've always wondered, well, how much of the Rasputin meme has been embellished and how much of it is true? So who was this mysterious Rasputin then? I mean, what was he all about then?
Rasputin, he was like the advisor to the Tsar, to Nicholas II, and he had a son, Alexei, who had haemophilia, and Rasputin was supposedly able to alleviate his symptoms. And he probably did it by hypnosis. He was a very trusted and close friend to the Tsar royal family. But the press, they started circulating all this stuff, all this scandal about Rasputin, how he was like a womanizer and he was having an affair with the Tsar's wife.
Well, hang on a second. Weren't the press, though, at the time pro-Bolshevik?
Do you mean Jewish?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, they were like against the royal family. They were against the monarchy. So, of course, they're going to disseminate propaganda, aren't they? And Rasputin was an Orthodox minister.
Yeah.
So, what better way to smear him than to say he was some kind of sexual deviant?
His physical appearance was quite astounding, wasn't it? Like, forgetting the mythology, he was a very tall man.
He's got those eyes.
And that massive beard with which he would incubate sparrows and stuff. Now, we should get onto the death legend. I think if you do know something about Rasputin, like, you'll most definitely know about his notorious death, or deaths.
Yeah, he's like Michael Myers. The death legend is that Prince Felix Yusupov, Dmitry Pavlovich, and some geezer called Vladimir Purishkevich, they gave him cakes with enough cyanide to kill 5 people.
And then Yusupov shot Rasputin 4 times, and still the man was not vanquished. Then they sort of got together and they started beating him with clubs.
Not the chocolate bars.
No, actual wooden clubs. And then his body was thrown in a river, and then it was buried and exhumed for cremation, and then they set it on fire. So the corpse sat up while he was on fire. Was he wearing an asbestos gown or something?
When you look into some of these things, it's the same with the Holocaust, you'll find that certain things have been debunked, but that doesn't stop them from being disseminated in popular culture for people who are less studious.
Yeah, and it's accepted as
true.
Roundabout truth, isn't it? So, all right then, so how did he die?
Apparently the bullet that killed Rasputin was from a Webley revolver. The bullet was non-jacketed. And at that time, it was just the British who used unjacketed bullets in their Webley revolvers. But yeah, so the bullet that killed Rasputin, it was basically almost exclusively used by the British intelligence agency. There were witnesses that said that the only man who had a Webley revolver at the scene was some bloke called Oswald Rayner. He was a British agent based in St. Petersburg. And he was actually a close friend of Prince Felix Yusupov. He was probably bumming him. He even wrote a translation of Yusupov's book Rasputin, which is where we get a lot of our legends about Rasputin from.
So why would the British intelligence want to kill Rasputin?
Well, because Rasputin wanted to withdraw the Russian troops from the First World War.
This isn't far off from the publication of the Protocols of Zion.
The Tsar's wife, she had a copy of it. They promoted the Protocols of Zion, and then not long after that, they all end up getting massacred. They get Bolsheviks.
Bolshed. Didn't Rasputin have a daughter?
Maria, in her memoir, she pretty much describes him as being a saintly figure.
Nice bloke. So the Rasputin myth joins the canon of other myths that have entered the kind of cultural soup. Another misunderstanding, another kind of embellishment that's added to the narrative of history. It makes you wonder how much of the history we've taken as fact is fact at all. It just leaves you kind of suspended in sort of befuddlement. Anyway, I think it's time to wrap things up, Heretic. I think we've reached the denouement of the show. And what have we learned?
We learned that Rasputin wasn't Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars.
No, he wasn't. And he wasn't a prolific shaver either. We've also learned that Ron Paul is not related to Pope John Paul II.
And he could be the last hope for humanity.
The last Pope or last hope?
What about Star Wars again?
Sorry, yeah. And if you are going to be a racist bigot, don't do it on a tram. Do it in privacy.
Well, this isn't really private, is it?
Not really. But what they don't know, Heretic, is that I'm actually sort of Semitic myself. As a matter of fact, my mother is Jewish, and my father is Catholic. which is an interesting mix. So every time I went to confession, I'd have to take a lawyer with me. Why are you laughing?
Benaiah came across a door, but it would not yield. Benaiah began to perceive that the door was impenetrable, so he sat in silence. After many hours, Benaiah rose to his feet and tried something else. He knocked the door. Beyond the door sat an old man. "Please, old man, if you can, help me to understand the deep and complex things of the world." The old man looked at Benaiah and answered, "I perceive that you do not yet understand the most basic things, so how do you expect to comprehend its deeper meaning?" Benaiah looked at the old man earnestly and whispered, "Then teach me the simple things." The old man paused. "I shall teach you the secret language of numbers. Listen and think. This is the secret of zero, the unknown number. An idea may exist, but not to the human mind. Zero is the tree that stands or falls, yet no one is around to see it. A space that exists, but is yet to be populated. This is the secret of one, the number of me. I know I exist. Why I know I exist is zero, but I am aware I exist, so I am one. This is the secret of two, the number of other. If I know I exist, I know that the other exists. This is the secret of three, the number of change. I can change something. I can create. Something was zero, yet it became one. This is the secret of four, the number of rules. Ways of proceeding, ways of making things work, structure. This is the secret of five, the number of freedom. There are new things, exploration, impermanence. This is the secret of six, the number of tribe. I can collect with others, family, group, nation, army. This is the secret of seven, the number of connection. I can reconcile that which seems irreconcilable. This is the secret of eight, the number of will. I believe in an idea. I see how it grows with my faith into something real. This is the secret of nine, the number of sacrifice. I make the world and myself better by working and giving. This is the secret of 10, the number of completion. The unknown becomes known. There is achievement.
Yeah, and old Ron Paul was barred from the... You're going to make me corpse now. Yeah, and old Ron Paul, he wasn't invited to the... You're lying, I'm going to see your head wobbling. It's not even funny. Did you see the Israeli tram video?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, you got to say, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Did you see the Israeli tram video?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did. I wasn't really running.
There's this, no, with that. No, wait, he would have, no, wait, start again.